Hey Jack, we started the review and we forgot to start recording. So we just got done with the first 5 problems. I can show you those tomorrow, but we are on number 6 now. Standard form of the equation of a circle again. So like number 6, but they don't give me some things. What are the 2 things that you need for a circle?
Center and radius.
Center and radius. Okay, if they give me that these 2 points are on the outside of my circle. So like one of them is -2, 0.
Oh, you have to find midpoint.
And one of them is 2, 4. I have to find the midpoint to find the center, right?
So
The middle or finding the average, I add the x's together. 2 and -2 divided by 2. 0, comma. 0 and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so my center is at 0, 2. Perfect. Then my radius.
We gotta do the distance.
We gotta do the distance formula. Do you want to do the distance formula from the 2 outsides and divide by 2, or one of the insides to the other side?
The other 2 insides.
The other 2 insides, like the zeros ones?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do those. Okay, so to find the radius, we're doing the distance formula. How far apart are -2 and 0? 2. How far apart is 0 and 2? 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, and the square root of that. That's my radius.
We don't know.
But we're not going to take the square root. We're not going to write it as a decimal. Okay? Now we plop them into the formula. X minus 0 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals
8.
Why is it 8?
Because
The square root of 8 squared is just 8. Okay, now you can get away with writing that as just x squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 8 if you want to. If you're one of those people that doesn't like the minus 0, that will work as well. Got it? Good, good? Okay, answer the next one. Go.
I don't know how to do this.
White
Yes or
word.
no?
That's the one thing I do remember.
Is it a function or is it not a function? How do you tell if that's a function or not a function?
X's
coordinates.
repeat.
The x's repeat. Are the x's repeating?
No.
The y's are repeating. 1 and 1.
Matter.
Doesn't matter. So what does this mean?
Yes.
Yes, function. Okay, he will pass the vertical line test if I plot those, right? Got it? Okay, now number 8. Determine whether or not this guy is a function. How do I do that?
Well, we probably should put them into our graphing calculator.
I mean, you can, but you don't necessarily have to. What's his parent function?
Oh, he's got 2.
X cubed. Y equals x cubed. If I strip all the other cube, if I strip all the numbers and like just have the highest power, his parent function is x cubed. You remember what x cubed looks like?
W guy, right? It's
one
like a
down, one
snake
up.
kind of.
He's one of these.
So he passes.
He's going to pass the vertical line test. Any polynomial, by the way, is going to pass the vertical line test. So they're all going to be functions, right? Okay, so yes, function. Make sense? X cubed, okay? All right, what is the domain? You guys know how to do this. There's 2 things I have to worry about for a domain.
Negative on the bottom. Is that these things?
Nope, nope. Yeah, but that's not what it is.
Is a negative.
Negative inside of square root and
0 on the bottom.
dividing by 0. We don't ever want to divide by 0, and we can't take the negative of a square root because it's imaginary. So here we have to worry about
Square root.
having a negative inside of a square root. Okay, so what's the like the critical number? Where does he like switch over?
6. No.
What would make him 0?
3.
3. Okay, so I'm going to slap on a number line. If you ever get stuck, slap him on a number line. If I plug 3 in for x, I will end up with 0. Can I take the square root of 0?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm going to put on 3
A solid circle.
a solid circle, right? Because it can be 3. Okay, now let's test. Let's plug in 2, let's plug in 4. Which one does not work?
2. Wait, 4. 4.
-4 plus 3.
Yeah.
This does not work. 2, -2 plus 3, yeah, that works. Okay, so for domain, x has to be
Greater than or less than or equal to
less
3.
than or equal to 3. Or if you do it in interval notation, negative infinity, comma,
3.
3,
Or in
bracket,
I mean.
bracket.
Okay.
Okay.
Back out so we can see the rules.
Good. Yep, there's the rules. There they are in all their glory. Okay. All right, you can figure out the next one. This one's the easy one. Number 10. What can T be and what can T not be? Do the T's cancel?
T cannot be 6. No,
No.
it's
No. He's trapped.
But you have to do the
Yeah,
difference
so
using.
T is greater than 6, right?
No, but it can be less than 6 too.
Let's say it's 5. 5 minus 6 is -1. I can have -1 on the bottom.
Do we need
What can I not have on the bottom?
Just
6? But do you need like a
Can you- yeah,
union
you
and
can
stuff
do
like
that.
that?
You just write T cannot equal 6.
T is not equal to 6.
Oh.
T is every other thing besides 6. That is set builder notation. Now, if I do interval notation, it would be like -infinity to 6, union with 6 to infinity, whatever. I'm not going to be real picky about that on the test. Okay. Unless I say specifically use interval notation, but I'm not going to do it for that because this to me looks nicer than this.
Yeah.
So if I give you a problem like that, I'm not going to ask for interval notation. I'm going to say, tell me what X can be and not be. So T can't be 6. Got it? We see why T can't be 6. Okay, good. All right, 11.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh, yeah. I like
You know how to do these. Do A and B. And C, I guess, if you can.
C of 20.
Go for it.
Okay.
Take a stab.
Ooh.
Which function are we finding the domain of?
The whole thing.
I'm just trying to understand.
The whole thing.
Isn't there 2
If
of
you
them?
know what's happening on the right side, then you know,
What? If you know what's happening where?
like the if, whatever.
Yeah.
Know what's going on there, then it kinda
Isn't there 2
would
functions?
make sense to me.
What's C of 20? Is 20 going to the top or the bottom?
150.
You look at this guy. This guy tells you.
Top.
So is 20 a number that's between 0 and 25 or greater than 25? He goes in here, right? 20 lives there. So the answer is 150. By the way, let's figure out what this stuff means. And this should be the cost of renting a limousine for X number of hours, not necessarily just 24 hours, because we can rent it for more than 25 is what this says. Okay? So if we rent it for less than 25 hours, we're paying no matter what 150 bucks. Right?
So even if
25
it's
hours
like
or
2
less,
hours,
so I could rent it for 30 minutes and pay $150, or I could rent it for a whole day
you might as well
and pay 150 bucks. You might as well rent it for a whole day. Does that make sense? But if I rent it for longer than that, they're gonna charge me 175 or $1.75 X. Wait a second.
an hour.
I almost wonder if X is representing the miles.
Probably.
Because it is renting for 24 hours. So you're renting a limo for 24 hours, but you're driving X number of miles.
Yeah.
Right? That would make a little bit more sense, right? Because they're charging by the miles. So $155 if we go 20 miles. Okay? If we go more than 25 miles, we're going to be charged $1.75 per extra mile that we go. Okay, so X is representing miles. It doesn't say that. It should
So-
say that, but X is representing miles. So if we drive 0 up to 25 miles, we're going to pay 150 bucks no matter what. If we drive beyond 25 miles in that limo, they're going to charge us $1.75 extra per mile that we go. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, so if we drive 30 miles, 30 miles is greater than 25, so I'm going to plug 30 in here, and 30 times 175 is, I don't know what that is.
Something you get 202.5.
202.5. Perfect. $202.50.
Or
Because I
30
exceeded the
miles.
25 mile max. What is the domain for this function? So, domain means what X can be and what can X not be.
Any real
So what numbers am I allowed to plug in for x?
Any positive number?
Number greater than 0.
Any number greater than 0. X has to be greater than 0. Can it be equal to 0?
I mean, no.
Not according to this, right? This is not equal to.
You can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere. You might as well not even rent it, right?
Rental only
So,
usually,
according to this, x has to be greater than 0. It's like we're smushing these two domains together. Like, what am I allowed to plug in and what am I not allowed to plug in, right? I can plug in any number. I can plug in 1,000,000 if I go 1,000,000 miles, right?
What's in the other form?
What? Oh, in the other form, what would x greater than 0 be in the other form?
It would be 0, 25 bracket union with
No.
parentheses 25.
No.
Infinity.
0 to infinity.
No. Paren.
Oh, paren. You're right. Paren. Yep. So like Josie said here, 0, 25 bracket paren union with paren 25 to infinity.
It's the same thing.
This right here is a closed circle, so you might as well just combine those together and go 0 to infinity, right? Make sense? Yeah. Okay, how about that? 12. You try 12. Go for it. Domain, range. Domain is x and x is left and right. Range is up and down. Then find f of 1 and find f negative 1 plus f of 3.
Domain is left and right.
Domain is left and right. Domain is x's, left and right.
I don't remember how to do
Range is y is up and down. Yeah. How far left and how far right does he go? How far up, how far down does he go? Domain, range.
Do like 3.5. I mean, the fly's gonna get
So domain is what?
What?
Moving across.
Domain is what? No.
Domain is
is
the
just how
x's
far to
plus
the left,
the
how far to the right does he go?
You see him?
Domain. How far to the left does he go? What's the furthest left he goes?
Negative 4.
-4. Okay?
5.
Does he touch -4?
Yes.
Perfect. So
If
bracket.
you draw a circle around
Comma.
the fly.
Is he on the screen?
Yeah.
He's crawling around. How far to the right does he go?
That's it. 5.
5. Bracket or paren?
Bracket.
Bracket. There you go. That's the domain.
Should be.
Yes. Could you go -4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 5. That's what that means. But you are on the right track. That's what you wanted to say.
Doesn't make any sense.
As long as you do it right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Range. Do you know how to do range then from there? What's the lowest he goes?
-3 to
-3 on a bracket,
No.
comma.
3.5.
Does he touch -3 exactly?
2, 5, 2.
He looks pretty close. To highest is 3.5.
Sure.
Bracket or paren?
Bracket.
Bracket.
That's not right.
That's like 2.9.
I mean, it's not exactly.
2.9?
I didn't realize that there was a value on the
No,
I'm
2.9
sure
is
it was.
lower. I will say 3.5 as long as you're close.
It needs to go a little higher.
As long as you're close. Maybe 3.4 if you said
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
Okay.
fine.
But he does need to be a bracket because if you put a paren, then that means you're saying that there's an open circle right there. Okay, and there's no open circle, so he does in fact need to be a paren or a bracket. I mean.
But no.
Okay.
This is the stupid things where you only look at like the x or y.
Yep.
right?
F of 1. We just were doing these like
-3.
in composition.
Negative.
Go to 1. Where is he touching? -3. Got it?
Yep.
F of -1 plus F of 3. Find what those guys are.
0.
F of -1, he's touching at 0. So I have 0 plus, what's F of 3?
1.5.
1.5-ish. Yeah.
So 1.5.
So 1.5. As long as you're close. If there's ever a question, I'll take roughly. I'm not gonna like count you off if you say 1.6 or something like that.
It's around
'Kay,
1.5.
good. All right. Let's do like 3 more maybe. Can we get 3 more done?
No.
And then we'll have the backside tomorrow.
We're almost at a good stopping point actually.
Yeah, I want to get through linear functions, so that's this chunk right here. Oh, we got time. We got time. Find the equation of a line. What's the equation of a line?
Y equals mx.
Y equals mx plus b. Okay. How do I find, what do I find first?
2/1.
M, okay? How do I find M with this guy?
-1.
Yep, y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1. So y2 is 5 minus 3 over 2 minus 1. 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, so the slope is 2, yeah? Y equals 2x plus b. Now what? Yeah, which one do you want? 1, 3 or 2, 5? Doesn't matter. 1, 3, okay? 3 goes in for y, 1 goes in for x. So
1
3
plus
equals
1.
2 plus b, subtract the 2. b equals 1, final answer?
Y equals 2x plus 1.
Perfect. That's nice. Okay? Very good, very good. Alright. For 14 and 15, use the original line 3x plus y minus 1 equals 0 to find the following. Okay. What shall we do first?
We need a parallel line, right?
Yeah, we need a
So we
parallel line.
We need
Okay.
the same slope.
Same
right?
slope, but what's the slope of this guy?
We gotta know.
Well, let's fix him first.
3.
Yeah, he's gonna be 3, but or negative 3. But let's fix him first. So if I get y by itself and I kick these to the other side,
Y equals.
well, he will be y equals negative 3x plus 1. Yeah? Okay, so if my line is parallel, what slope do I need to use?
-3.
Negative 3. If my line is perpendicular, what slope do I need to use?
The negative reciprocal.
So that is 1/3, okay? Now I just do y equals mx plus b. And I have my m already.
2 equals 9 plus
Y equals mx plus b. What do I do with this 1? Right here.
nothing. Throw it away.
Throw it away. Bury him. Okay? Now y equals negative 3x plus b. How do I find b?
We gotta
Plug
use
in.
the number they give us.
Plug in, I don't know, whatever. Negative 3
Negative
here,
3,
2 here, 2 equals
9 minus
9
2 minus 9.
plus b, minus
-7.
minus 9. B
Y
equals negative 7.
equals negative 3x minus 7.
There you go. Okay? Alright, y equals 1/3 x plus b, and I want to plug in those guys. 2 equals 1/3 times negative 3, that's nice. I gave you some nice numbers. What's 1/3 of negative 3?
1.
Negative 1, so then we
Add 1 to
add
3.
1. So b is 3, and final answer?
1/3 plus 3.
1/3 x plus 3.
1/3 x plus 3.
Okay, how about that? Good?
Great ending spot.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
stopping point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's the thus far? What's the main thing that you're gonna have to study?
The
Like the
Formulas.
circle equation.
The circle equation. Okay.
Just write that on the
What
board.
else? You guys know the distance formula and the midpoint formula.
Those are better than
Just
the
remembering that
circle thing.
midpoint is average. That's a good one.
Those are better than the circle thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Circle thing. Ready?
Yeah, like you need to.
A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Right?
Yeah.
That's all your circle equation is.
But how do we find that it's x plus 3?
And a circle is literally the distance formula, right? If I take the square roots of both sides, I literally get the distance formula. This is how you find the distance formula, right? This guy squared plus this guy squared and the square root of that, right? It all is the same, right? Distance formula is the same thing as the equation of a circle. Okay? You like subtract the x's from each other to find the distance, and that's what we put in
You
this
can
bubble.
just answer all our
Press
questions
the
when
Y.
we're taking the test.
Sure, I need help with 1.8.
Okay, how about that? Anything else?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the video. Goodbye, Jack.